Hi, I'm Patrick Reagan. Welcome to the Wired Networking series where we discuss networking cabling, including copper and fiber cabling. In part 1, Physical Media and Connections, Copper Cabling, we discuss the different types of copper cables and connectors found on today's network. It also discusses the twisted pair categories in Ethernet naming convention. Cabling provides the connection infrastructure for the network. When implementing the cabling infrastructure, make sure you plan it well. Don't forget to plan for growth, including connections and usage. Cabling can be divided into copper and fiber optics. Copper cabling uses electrical signals. Compared to fiber, copper cable has very limited bandwidth and higher signal loss over 100 meters and high frequencies. It has relatively low distance, is susceptible to eavesdropping, and is susceptible to environmental factors such as temperature fluctuations, severe weather conditions, and moisture. Compared to fiber cabling, copper cabling is inexpensive. On the other hand, fiber optics cabling uses light signals. They provide more bandwidth, have little signal loss during transmission, and support greater distances. They are not susceptible to eavesdropping and are immune to environmental factors. Compared to copper cabling, fiber cabling is expensive. Copper cabling is either twisted pair or coaxial. Twisted pair has a pair of wires that form a circuit that can transmit data. The pairs are twisted together to provide protection against crosstalk, the noise generated by adjacent pairs. Types of twisted pair include unshielded twisted pair, or UDP, and shielded twisted pair, or STP. It is used commonly in RJ45 Ethernet cables to physically plug your computer or docking station that connects to a wall jack, which leads to a switch, or directly to a switch. Coaxial cable has round cable conductor and 3 layers of insulation and shielding, which reduces crosstalk from motors, lighting, and other sources of electromagnetic interference, or EMI. It is designed to transmit high-frequency signals. With the shield construction, the coaxial cable can support longer cable lengths between two devices. It is used with cable television and satellite connections. Unshielded twisted pair, or UDP, is the most common twisted pair which is used by Ethernet. It has no additional shielding. Shielded twisted pair, or STP, has additional shielding which protects against signal interference. It shields each pair and/or the overall cable, which is the form of aluminum foil, aluminum braid, or both. It requires the cable to be grounded on both ends. Grounded at one end means the other end acts similar to an antenna at some frequencies. While shielding also adds strength, the cable is thicker, weighs more, and has reduced permitted bend radii. It costs more per foot compared to UDP, and it requires more expensive shielded connecting hardware in order to work as intended. It contains a dedicated electrostatic discharge drain wire to help drain off static electricity buildup in the cable. Foil unshielded twisted pair, or FUDP, has foil shielding to reduce EMI, but does not have individual shielding around each twisted pair. Twisted pair cables are divided into categories based mainly on bandwidth, which is measured in megahertz, maximum data rate, measured in megabits per second, and shielding. Today, the most common categories include Cat5e, Cat6, and Cat6a. Cat5e is considered an enhanced version of Cat5. It supports speeds of up to 1 gigabits per second by increasing the number of twists, which make it more resistant to crosstalk and signal attenuation. While Cat5 was mostly half duplex, Cat5e supported full duplex communications. Cat6 operates at 250 MHz and supports greater data transfer rates of up to 10 gigabits per second for distances up to 37 meters. Cat6 Commonly but not all include a spleen to reduce crosstalk. A spleen is a plastic or nylon separator which runs through the center of the cable and separates the twisted wire pairs to reduce crosstalk and improve performance. Cat6 may include shielding to reduce electromagnetic interference, and Cat6 cables are backward compatible with Cat5 and Cat5e cables. Cat6a supports greater bandwidth of 500 MHz and speeds up to 10 gigabits per second. It is usually called an augmented Cat6 cable, and it almost always includes the spleen. Cat6a has stricter crosstalk and noise reduction standards than Cat6. Many Cat6a cables are shielded to further minimize interference. Use Cat6 if you only need gigabit speeds for most of your network, you have short cable runs under 55 meters for 10 gigabits per second, or you want a cheaper and more flexible cable. Use Cat6a if you need 10 gigabit speeds for longer distances up to 100 meters, you are in a high interference environment such as data centers and offices with many cables, and you want a future-proof network setup. Cat7 supports 600 MHz bandwidth, speeds up to 10 gigabits at a distance of 100 meters, and has 4 individual shielded copper wires to prevent crosstalk in EMI, which enables the cable to operate at a much higher frequencies. Cat7a is an upgrade to Cat7, which supports up to 1000 MHz and offers maximum data transfers of 10 gigabits per second at 100 meters and 40 gigabits per second at 50 meters. Cat7a offers improved shielding techniques that enhance performance in high interference environments. Cat8 is suitable for switch-to-switch communications in 25 gigabits per second and 40 gigabits per second networks. It has a maximum of up to 2000 megahertz. It is wrapped in foil for shielding, and it virtually eliminates crosstalk. Because of this shielding, the cable can be quite rigid and therefore difficult to install in tight or small spaces. Cat-A can replace fiber in data centers for short connections. In UDP cables, the letters A and E in cable categories such as Cat5e and Cat6a indicate specific enhancements or improvements. E, enhanced, found in Cat5e, means enhanced, indicating improved performance of the standard Cat5 cable. Cat5e reduces crosstalk and supports gigabit Ethernet at 100 meters by following stricter specifications and tighter twist and wire pairs. A, augmented, is found in Category 6A and Category 7A. A stands for augmented, means that the cable supports higher bandwidths and data rates. Cat6a can handle 10 gigabits of Ethernet at 100 meters and offers improved shielding against interference compared to Cat6. These enhancements allow for better performance, reduced signal interference, and higher data transfer rates. Over the years, there have been many Ethernet standards created and used. However, there is some logic to the naming convention used in Ethernet standards. The naming convention usually begins with the speed. Ethernet uses baseband, as indicated by base, which uses radio frequency signal converted to a digital form. The next 4 characters will specify the medium in the encoding number of lanes or distance. T is for copper twisted pair, and L, S, and E are fiber. Most copper cabling is limited to 100 meters. For 1000 base T, the speed is 1000 megabits per second, and T indicated as twisted pair. For 10G base SR, the speed is 10 gigabits per second. The SR indicates multi-mode fiber and the PCS encoding method. One gigabits per second Ethernet, or 1000 base-T, is the most common for general use, while 10 gigabits per second, 10G base-T, or fiber variants is growing in business and data centers. 40G and 100G Ethernet are becoming standard for high-speed data centers. Some cables may also have designations for the environmental ratings, such as CM for communication multi-purpose, CMX is outdoors, and LSZH is low smoke, zero halogen, indicating their suitability for specific installations. Communications plenum, or CMP, is approved for installation in air handling spaces, which is constructed with low smoke, fire-resistant material, which is used in offices, schools, and commercial buildings. Communications riser, or CMR, is designed for vertical installations between floors, which has less stringent fire ratings than CMP and cannot be installed in plenum spaces. Communications general purpose, or CM, is basic cable used for general networking, which is not rated for riser or plenum spaces. Low smoke zero halogen, or LSZH, is similar to CMP, but is used more in Europe and international markets, which produces minimum toxic fumes when burned. Direct burial cable is a type of outdoor electrical wire that is buried underground, usually without conduit. It provides protection from the elements. Direct burial cables are approved to use in wet, dry, and moist conditions. It is often filled with gel to repel water. Some direct burial cables are enhanced with armor that protects them from rodents. Direct burial STP is used because it protects against signal interference and the shielding adds strength. POTS stands for Plain Old Telephone Service, sometimes also referred to as PSTN or Public Switch Telephone Network. It is the traditional landline analog phone system. Registered Jack 11 or RJ11 is a legacy telephone interface that uses a cable of twisted wire pairs and a modular jack with 2, 4, or 6 contacts. Standard phones use 2 pair or 4 wires. RJ11 is the common connector for plugging a telephone into the wall and the handset into the telephone. This is not to be used with voice over IP or VoIP, which uses a network connection such as Ethernet. The top picture shows the RJ11 connector with the larger RJ45 connector. Today, Ethernet uses an RJ45 connector, also known as an 8-position 8-contact or 8P8C. It has 4 pairs or 8 wires. It is the most common local area network connection. Coaxial cable is a round copper conductor and 3 layers of insulation and shielding, which reduces crosstalk from motors, lighting, and other sources of EMI. RJ59 is an older coaxial cable that is still used in specific applications such as analog video signals, closed-circuit television systems, and some cable TV installations. RJ6 cables have higher quality shielding and thicker insulation than their counterparts that can endure outdoor conditions and more interference. It is more common and is often the go-to for most home and commercial applications due to its balance of flexibility, low signal loss, and performance. Typical distances are 1,000 feet, or 305 meters, to 1,500 feet, or 457 meters. It can carry frequencies up to 2,200 megahertz. RG11 is a thicker coaxial cable used for long-distance applications such as connecting satellite dishes to receivers over longer distances. Coaxial cable uses the following types of connectors. The bayonet Neil Councilman, or BNC connector, is a more versatile RF connector, often used in professional applications like video and test equipment. BNC connectors offer a quicker, more secure connection with a bayonet locking mechanism that is resistant to accidental disconnection. F-type connector is primarily used for connecting coaxial cables to televisions and cable boxes, making it more commonly found in consumer electronics like cable TV setups. F-type connectors use a threaded design for connection. Twinaxial cable, often referred to as Twinax, is a type of cable similar to a coaxial cable, but with two inner conductors instead of one. These inner conductors are typically arranged in a twisted pair configuration, surrounded by an insulating layer, a shielding layer, and an outer insulating jacket. Twinaxial cables, also known for their balanced transmission properties, and are used in a variety of applications that require high-speed transmission and reduced electromagnetic interference. It is common on 10 gigabit Ethernet SFP plus cables. Twinaxial offers full duplex, 5 meters distance, low cost, low latency compared to twisted pair. Direct attached copper or DAC cable is a type of twinax copper cable used to connect network devices like switches, servers, and storage devices within a short distance, typically within a rack, by directly plugging into the ports on the equipment, offering a cost-effective and efficient way to establish high-speed data connections with low latency. Essentially, it's a pre-terminated copper cable with connectors on both ends designed for short-range connections within a data center. Compared to other fiber optics cables, DACs are generally cheaper to implement for short-range connections within a rack. Passive DACs have no active electronics to boost the signal, while active DACs can extend transmission distance slightly by amplifying the signal. Question: why is twisted pair cable twisted? Answer: to reduce crosstalk. Question: what type of cable uses the F-type connectors? Answer: coaxial. Question: which of the following standards would apply to a 10 gigabit network link that is 3 kilometers or 1.86 miles? Answer: 10G base-LR. Remember, copper is usually limited to 100 meters, which are the TX and T cabling here. LR is for long range and SR is for short range. For the longer links, you would need LR. Question: which of the following copper wire standards utilizes 4 pairs to achieve gigabit Ethernet speeds? Answer: 1000 base-T. Question: what would you use with 10G base-T in your data center, which you expect traffic to be high and data integrity is very important? Answer: Cat6a STP. Question: your business ISP is the local cable company. What type of cables from the demarcation point to the central office? Answer: RG6. Question: which of the following is the most cost-effective alternative that provides proper cabling and supports gigabit Ethernet devices and up to 100 meters distance? Answer: twisted cable with the minimum Cat5e certification. Question: which of the following connector types will be used to connect to the demarcation point and provide network access to a cable modem? Answer: F-type. Question: which of the following would be best suited for a long cable run with a 40 gigabits per second bandwidth? Answer: Cat8. Question: which of the following connector types would most likely be used to connect to an external antenna? Answer: B and C. For more information, refer to these sites. In summary, cabling provides the connection infrastructure for the network. Copper wiring uses electrical signals, is susceptible to eavesdropping, and is inexpensive. Fiber optics cabling uses light signals, has more bandwidth and distance compared to copper wiring, is immune to EMI, and is expensive. Twisted pair cabling has pairs that are twisted together to provide protection against crosstalk, the noise generated by adjacent pairs. Network cables are divided into categories, or CAT, based mainly on bandwidth measured in megahertz, maximum data rate measured in megabits per second, and shielding. Today, Ethernet uses an RJ45 connector, which has 4 pairs or 8 wires. Coaxial cable has round copper conductor and 3 layers of insulation and shielding, which reduces crosstalk from motors, lighting, and other sources of EMI. Coaxial cable uses BNC or F-type connectors. Twinaxial cable, often referred to as Twinax, is a type of cable similar to coaxial cable, but with 2 inner conductors instead of 1. Direct attached copper or DAC cable is a type of Twinax copper cable used to connect network devices like switches, servers, and storage devices within a short distance. Thank you for watching this video. The next video will be Basic Wired Networking Part 2, Physical Media and Connectors, Fiber Optics Cabling. If you have not already, subscribe to the Pat Has Your Back channel. Thank you.